window of his office, watching ships come and go from Harmony Station. The massive space station floated in the darkness between stars, its lights twinkling like a small city. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved around it like busy insects. Some were human ships with smooth metal surfaces. Others looked strange and alien. Daeho had been running this station for 3 years now. It was not an easy job. Harmony Station was supposed to be a place where humans and aliens could meet safely. They could trade goods, share ideas, and try to understand each other. But keeping everyone happy was harder than it looked. A soft beep came from his desk. "Commander, the morning reports are ready," said his assistant through the speaker. "Send them to my screen," Daeho replied. He walked back to his desk and sat down. The report showed everything that happened on the station in the last 24 hours. 3 alien ships had arrived. 2 human cargo ships had left. The food supplies were running low in the alien quarters. And there had been some small problems with the air system. Daeho frowned at the last item. Small problems with life support were normal on any space station, but lately, there seemed to be more of them than usual. He made a note to talk to Lee Junwoo, the chief engineer, about it later. A knock on his door interrupted his thoughts. "Come in," he called. Dr. Park So-min entered the office. She was the station's chief medical officer and one of the few people who understood alien biology. Her short black hair was tied back and she looked tired. "Good morning, Commander," she said, sitting down in the chair across from his desk. "I wanted to talk to you about something strange." "What kind of strange?" Daeho asked, putting down his tablet. So-min pulled out her own device and showed him some charts. "I've been doing the regular health checks on our alien visitors. Nothing serious, just making sure they're healthy and comfortable. But I've noticed something odd." She pointed to the charts. "The Valkyrie delegates have been asking a lot of questions during their visits. Not about their health, but about human behavior, how we react to stress, how we make decisions, things like that." Daeho looked at the charts but couldn't understand the medical data. "Maybe they're just curious about us. We ask questions about them too." "That's what I thought at first," So-min said. "But it's not just casual curiosity. They're asking very specific questions, and they're taking notes on everything I say." Before Daeho could respond, his communicator buzzed. "Commander, we have a problem in engineering," came the voice of Lieutenant Choi Hye-jin, the station's security chief. "What kind of problem?" Daeho asked. "You need to see this for yourself, sir. Can you come to Engineering Deck 5? Daeho stood up. "Dr. Park, we'll continue this conversation later. Right now, I need to check on this engineering issue." The two of them left the office together. Harmony Station was huge, with dozens of levels and hundreds of rooms. The human sections looked like any space station, with white walls and bright lights. But the alien sections were different. The Valkyrie areas had crystal formations growing from the walls that made musical sounds. The Roth sections were darker and warmer, like underground tunnels. The Nemery areas were filled with pools of water and had humid air. When they reached Engineering Deck 5, they found Lee Junwoo standing next to a large control panel. His work clothes were dirty and he looked frustrated. Lieutenant Choi Hye-jin was there too, taking pictures of something with her scanner. "What happened here?" Daeho asked. Junwoo pointed to the control panel. Several screens were dark, and some wires hung loose from an open access panel. "Someone messed with the environmental controls for the Valkyrie section," he said. "The temperature dropped by 15 degrees, and the air mixture changed. If I hadn't caught it in time, it could have hurt them badly." "An accident?" So-min asked. "That's what I thought," Hye-jin said, showing them her scanner. "But look at this, these connections were cut, not broken. Someone did this on purpose." Daeho felt a cold feeling in his stomach. "Who had access to this area?" "That's the problem," Junwoo said. "This is a restricted area. Only senior engineering staff can get in here, and all of them are humans." The 4 of them stood in silence for a moment. The idea that a human might have tried to hurt their alien guests was troubling. "Could it be a mistake?" Daeho asked. "Maybe someone was doing repairs and made an error?" Junwoo shook his head. "I checked the work schedules. No one was supposed to be working on these systems today, and the cuts are too clean to be accidental. Hyojin put away her scanner. I'll start an investigation. I'll need to interview everyone who has access to this area. Do it quietly, Daeho said. We don't want to alarm our guests, and we definitely don't want this getting back to their home worlds. As they talked, Daeho's communicator buzzed again. This time it was the voice of Commander Wei, who ran the station's traffic control. Commander Kim, we have 3 Roth ships requesting immediate departure. They say it's urgent business, but they were supposed to stay for another week. Daeho looked at the others. I'll be right there, he said into the communicator. Then he turned to his team. This can't be a coincidence. Fix this system, find out who did it, and keep everything quiet. I'll handle the Roth. He hurried to the traffic control center. The room was full of screens showing the space around the station. Commander Wei pointed to 3 insect-like ships moving away from the station. They left in a hurry, Wei said. Barely finished the departure procedures. When I asked why, they said they received new information about their safety. Daeho watched the ships disappear into the darkness. The Roth were usually very careful about their business dealings. They didn't leave early unless something had scared them. Over the next few hours, more problems appeared. The water system in the Namari section started making strange noises. The crystal formations in the Velkari areas stopped making their musical sounds. Small things, but they all pointed to the same conclusion. Someone was trying to make the aliens uncomfortable. That evening, Daeho called a meeting with his senior staff. They gathered in the conference room. Dr. Park So-min, Engineer Lee Jun-woo, Lieutenant Choi Hee-jin, and a few others. We have a problem, Daeho began. Someone on this station is sabotaging our alien guests' quarters. It's not random vandalism. These are planned attacks designed to make them feel unwelcome. Jun-woo spoke up. I've found evidence of tampering in 3 different systems. All of them affect alien areas. None of the human sections have been touched. My investigation is just starting, Hee-jin added. But I can tell you that whoever is doing this knows our systems very well. They have high-level access and technical knowledge. So-min looked worried. If our guests start to think we can't protect them, they'll leave. Worse, they might think we're doing this on purpose. That might be exactly what someone wants, Daeho said grimly. The question is who and why. The meeting was interrupted by an emergency alarm. Red lights flashed, and a computerized voice announced, Hull breach in Section 7. All personnel evacuate immediately. Section 7 was where the Velkari delegates were staying. Daeho and his team ran through the corridors toward the emergency. When they arrived, they found chaos. Velkari delegates were floating in the zero gravity of the damaged section, their crystal bodies flashing with alarm colors. Emergency teams were already working to seal the breach. Jun-woo quickly checked his portable scanner. It's not a hull breach, he called out. Someone released all the air from this section. The walls are fine, but all the atmosphere was vented into space. Working together, the emergency teams managed to restore the air and gravity to Section 7. The Velkari delegates were shaken but unharmed. However, their trust in the station's safety was clearly damaged. As Daeho watched the cleanup efforts, he realized that this was no longer just about small acts of sabotage. Someone was trying to create a serious incident. Someone wanted the aliens to leave, or worse, wanted them to think that humans couldn't be trusted. The question was, who would want to destroy everything they had worked to build? Standing in the repaired section, watching human and alien rescue, workers helping each other, Daeho made a silent promise. He would find whoever was behind these attacks. He would protect his alien guests. And he would make sure that Harmony Station remained what it was meant to be, a place where different species could come together in peace. But deep down, he had a terrible feeling that the real crisis was just beginning. 3 days after the air leak incident, Commander Kim Daeho received an unexpected message. A human diplomatic ship was requesting permission to dock. The ship belonged to Ambassador Yoon Tae-min, one of Earth's most important representatives. Daeho stood in the docking bay as the ambassador's ship landed. The airlock opened with a soft hiss and Ambassador Yoon stepped out. He was a tall man with gray hair and expensive clothes. Behind him came 2 guards and several assistants carrying sealed briefcases. Commander Kim, Ambassador Yoon said, shaking hands. I wish I was visiting under better circumstances. What brings you to Harmony Station, Ambassador? Dae-ho asked as they walked toward the main corridor. We need to talk privately, Yoon replied. What I have to tell you affects the safety of every human in this sector. They went to Dae-ho's office. Once the door was closed, Ambassador Yoon opened one of the briefcases and pulled out a datapad. Commander, we've been getting reports from other human stations and colonies, Yoon began. Strange accidents, system failures, equipment problems, all happening at facilities where humans and aliens work together. Dae-ho felt his stomach drop. What kind of accidents? Life support failures, contaminated water supplies, radiation leaks. Small things at first, but getting worse. Yoon showed him the datapad. 3 stations have been evacuated. 2 colonies have asked for emergency help. And in every case, the problem started in areas used by aliens. Are you saying someone is targeting our alien partners? Dae-ho asked. That's one possibility, Yoon said carefully. But there's another explanation. Maybe the aliens are testing us. Maybe they're trying to see how we handle problems or how much we trust them. Dae-ho stared at the ambassador. You think our alien guests are causing these problems on purpose? I don't know what to think, Yoon admitted. But Earth Command is worried. They sent me here to investigate and to make sure Harmony Station doesn't become another casualty. Before Dae-ho could respond, his communicator buzzed. Commander, please come to Medical Bay 3 immediately, came Dr. Park So-min's voice. She sounded upset. What's wrong? Dae-ho asked. I found something you need to see, and bring Lieutenant Choi with you. Dae-ho looked at Ambassador Yoon. Come with me. You might want to see this too. They found Dr. So-min in one of the medical labs, staring at a computer screen. Lieutenant Choi Hye-jin was already there, looking grim. What did you find? Dae-ho asked. So-min pointed to the screen. Remember how I told you the Velkari were asking strange questions during their medical checks? Well, I decided to review the security recordings from those sessions. She pressed a button, and a video appeared on the screen. It showed a Velkari delegate sitting in the medical bay while So-min ran some tests. But the delegate was doing something else too. Every time So-min looked away, the Velkari was using a small device to scan the medical equipment. They're not just asking questions, So-min said. They're recording everything. Our medical procedures, our equipment designs, even how we react to different situations. Hye-jin pulled out her own datapad. It gets worse. I checked the security logs for the past month. The Velkari delegates have been visiting parts of the station they don't need to see. Engineering sections, communication rooms, even restricted areas. Maybe they're just curious, Dae-ho said, but he didn't sound convinced. There's more, Hye-jin continued. I found hidden recording devices in 3 different locations. All of them were watching human work areas. Ambassador Yoon stepped forward. This confirms what we suspected. The aliens aren't here just for trade and diplomacy. They're gathering intelligence. Dae-ho felt anger building in his chest. But why? We've been honest with them. We've shared our technology, our culture, everything. Because they don't trust us, Yoon said simply. And maybe we shouldn't trust them either. The group was interrupted by Engineer Lee Jun-woo's voice over the communication system. Commander, we have another problem. Can you come to engineering immediately? They hurried to the engineering section. Jun-woo was standing next to a large control panel looking worried. What happened this time? Dae-ho asked. Someone tried to hack into our main computer system, Jun-woo said. They almost got access to our defense systems and communication codes. Did you trace where the hack came from? Hye-jin asked. Jun-woo nodded grimly. It came from a terminal in the Roth section. But here's the strange part. The hack was stopped by another program. Someone else was in the system at the same time fighting off the attack. Who stopped it? Dae-ho demanded. I don't know. The second program deleted itself after stopping the hack, but it left a message. Jun-woo showed them a screen with simple text. Not all aliens are your enemy. Be careful who you trust among your own kind. Ambassador Yoon read the message and frowned. This could be a trick. The aliens might be trying to make us suspicious of each other. Or maybe someone is trying to help us, So-min suggested. Before anyone could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the station. The emergency lights turned red, and the computer voice announced, "Attention all personnel, incoming ships detected. Unknown vessels approaching at high speed." They all ran to the command center. The main screen showed space around the station, with several dots moving toward them. As the dots got closer, they could see that the ships were human. "They're military vessels," reported Commander Wei from the traffic control station. 5 heavy cruisers and 2 destroyers. Daeho's communicator buzzed. "Harmony Station, this is Captain Shin Bo-ra of the Earth Defense Fleet. Request permission to dock immediately." "Captain Shin," Daeho replied. "What brings a military fleet to neutral space?" "We're here on emergency orders, Commander. We've received reports that your station is under alien attack. We're here to evacuate all human personnel." Daeho looked at Ambassador Yoon, who seemed surprised. "Captain, there is no attack in progress. The station is secure." "Our information says otherwise," Captain Shin replied. "We're coming aboard whether you give permission or not." The main screen showed the military ships getting closer. Their weapons were powered up, and smaller fighter ships were spreading out around the station. "This doesn't make sense," So-min whispered. "Who told them we were under attack?" Ambassador Yoon was speaking quietly into his own communicator. After a moment, he turned to the others. "I didn't call for military backup. This fleet was sent by someone else in Earth Command." Lieutenant Hyejin was checking her security systems. "Commander, I'm detecting unusual communication signals. Someone on this station has been sending messages to Earth Command. Messages that we didn't authorize." "What kind of messages?" Daeho asked. "Reports of alien attacks. Requests for military help. Warnings about imminent danger." Hyejin's face was pale. "Someone has been lying to our own people." On the main screen, the military ships were now very close. Captain Shin's voice came over the communication system again. "Harmony Station, prepare for immediate evacuation. All humans are to report to Docking Bay 1. Any aliens found interfering with the evacuation will be considered hostile." Daeho realized that everything was falling apart. Someone had been sabotaging the station, spying on both humans and aliens, and now lying to Earth Command about what was happening. But who? And why? "Ambassador," Daeho said urgently, "you need to contact Earth Command and tell them the truth. There is no alien attack here." Yoon was already trying to use his communication equipment, but he shook his head. "I can't get through. Someone is jamming our communications." The main screen suddenly changed. Instead of showing the approaching ships, it now displayed a message in large letters. "Humans of Harmony Station, your alien guests have been planning to attack Earth. The evidence is hidden in their quarters. Search before it's too late." "Who sent that message?" Daeho demanded. Junwoo was frantically checking his systems. "It came from inside the station, but I can't trace the exact location. Someone has override codes that I don't recognize." Through the windows, they could see the military ships positioning themselves around the station. Small groups of armed soldiers were preparing to board. Dr. So-min grabbed Daeho's arm. "Commander, what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if the real enemy isn't the aliens or Earth Command? What if someone else has been manipulating all of us?" As if to answer her question, the lights in the command center suddenly went out. Emergency power kicked in a moment later, but in those few seconds of darkness, Daeho heard something that made his blood run cold. Someone in the room was laughing. When the lights came back on, Ambassador Yoon was smiling. But it wasn't a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone who had been waiting for this moment for a long time. "You're right, Doctor," Yoon said calmly. "Someone has been manipulating all of you. And now, it's time for the final act." The military ships were now docking with the station. Armed soldiers would be boarding within minutes. The aliens were trapped, the station was compromised, and their most trusted ally had just revealed himself as their enemy. Daeho realized that everything he had worked to build was about to be destroyed. But he also realized something else. If they were going to save Harmony Station and protect their alien guests, they had very little time to figure out how. Commander Kim Dae-ho stared at Ambassador Yoon Tae-min in shock. The man who was supposed to help them had just admitted to being their enemy. Around them, the command center's emergency lights cast red shadows on everyone's faces. You, Dae-ho said slowly. You've been behind all of this. Ambassador Yoon straightened his expensive suit and smiled coldly. Not just me, Commander. I represent a group of people who believe humanity is making a terrible mistake. We call ourselves the Terra Purists. Terra Purists? Dr. Park So-min asked. What does that mean? It means we believe humans should stay with humans, Yoon explained. These aliens are not our friends. They're studying us, learning our weaknesses, preparing to attack us when we least expect it. Lieutenant Choi Hye-jin stepped closer to Yoon, her hand moving toward her weapon. So you decided to attack them first? We decided to show everyone the truth, Yoon said calmly. Aliens and humans cannot live together peacefully. One side will always try to destroy the other. We're just making sure it's not humanity that gets destroyed. Engineer Lee Jun-woo was still working at his computer station. Commander, the military ships have docked. Armed soldiers are coming aboard. They'll be here in 5 minutes. Dae-ho felt panic rising in his chest. Yoon, call off your soldiers. There are innocent people on this station. Innocent aliens, you mean? Yoon corrected. And that's exactly the problem. You care more about them than about your own species. That's not true, Dae-ho said angrily. I care about doing what's right. Yoon pulled out a small device and pressed a button. The main screen changed to show security cameras throughout the station. Armed soldiers in combat suits were moving through the corridors. Some were heading toward the alien quarters. Others were setting up equipment in key locations. Captain Shin has her orders, Yoon said. Secure all humans, eliminate any aliens who resist, and plant evidence that proves the aliens were planning to attack Earth. Plant evidence? So-min asked in horror. You mean fake evidence? Evidence that supports the truth, Yoon replied. The aliens were gathering intelligence. They were studying our weaknesses. They were preparing for something. We're just helping people understand what that something was. On the security screens, they could see alien delegates being rounded up by soldiers. The Valkyrie were flashing bright colors in fear. The Roth were trying to communicate with the soldiers, but the humans ignored them. Some of the Namari had locked themselves in their water-filled rooms. This is wrong, Dae-ho said firmly. These beings came here in peace. They trusted us. And that trust will be the death of humanity, Yoon snapped. You're too naive to see it, but others aren't. Earth Command has been infiltrated by Terra Purist members for years. We've been planning this for a long time. Jun-woo suddenly looked up from his computer. Commander, I found something. Those fake reports that were sent to Earth Command, they didn't just come from this station. They came from dozens of human facilities across the galaxy. What do you mean? Hee-jin asked. The Terra Purists have been doing this everywhere, Jun-woo explained. They've been sabotaging human-alien cooperation programs, creating fake evidence of alien threats and manipulating Earth Command into sending military forces. Yoon nodded proudly. We've been very thorough. Harmony Station is just one of many targets. By the end of this week, every major human-alien partnership will be destroyed. Humanity will finally understand that we can only trust ourselves. Dr. So-min was studying one of the security screens. Commander, look at this. She pointed to a camera showing the Valkyrie section. The aliens aren't fighting back. They're just trying to protect each other. On the screen, they could see adult Valkyrie forming a circle around their younger members. Even though the soldiers were pointing weapons at them, the aliens remained calm and peaceful. They're not acting like enemies, So-min continued. They're acting like victims. Because they are victims, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see who had spoken. A figure in an environmental suit was standing in the doorway. The suit was designed for aquatic beings. It was one of the Nemari. How did you get here? Hee-jin demanded, reaching for her weapon. The Nemari raised its hands peacefully. Please, I mean no harm. I came to warn you. Ambassador Yoon stepped forward. See? This proves my point. The aliens are infiltrating our command center. I am Ambassador Colven of the Namari, the figure said, removing its helmet to reveal a face with large eyes and blue-green skin. I have information that you need to hear. Don't listen to it, Yoon warned. Whatever it says will be lies designed to confuse us. But Daiho held up his hand. Let him speak. Colvin pulled out a small data device. We have been recording the communications on this station for weeks, not to spy on you, but to protect ourselves. We knew something was wrong. What kind of communications? Daiho asked. Secret messages between certain humans and ships near our homeworlds, Colvin explained. Messages planning attacks on alien colonies. Messages about creating false evidence to justify a war. Ambassador Yoon's face changed. That's impossible. Those communications are encrypted. Namari technology is very good at breaking codes, Colvin said simply. We know about the Terra Purists. We know about their plan to destroy all cooperation between our species. And we know that you, Ambassador Yoon, are one of their leaders. Yoon's calm mask finally slipped. You lying alien scum. You're trying to turn humans against each other. No, Colvin said sadly. You are doing that yourself. Junwoo was frantically typing at his computer. Commander, I'm accessing the communication. Logs that the Namari provided. This is terrible. What did you find? Daiho asked. The Terra Purists haven't just been planning to destroy cooperation programs, Junwoo said, his voice shaking. They're planning to attack alien home worlds. They want to start a war that will wipe out every non-human species in this sector. That's not true, Yoon shouted. We're defending humanity. By committing genocide? So-min asked in horror. On the security screens, they could see that the situation was getting worse. Some of the soldiers were becoming violent with the aliens. In the Roth section, several insectoid beings had been injured. In the Velkari area, the crystal beings were flashing distress colors. We have to stop this, Daiho said. Lieutenant Choi, can you contact the alien ships outside the station? The Terra Purists are jamming most communications, Hyojin replied. But I might be able to get through on emergency frequencies. Do it, Daiho ordered. Tell them what's really happening here. Ambassador Yoon pulled out a weapon. I can't let you do that. But before he could fire, Ambassador Colven moved with surprising speed. The Nemari's long arms wrapped around Yoon, holding him tight. Nemari are stronger than we look, Colven explained calmly. Hyojin quickly took Yoon's weapon and activated her communicator. This is Lieutenant Choi of Harmony Station calling any alien vessels in the area. We have a situation. Repeat. We have a situation. After a moment, a response came through the static. It was a Velkari voice, speaking in musical tones that the computer translated. This is the Velkari ship Song of Crystal. We hear you, Lieutenant Choi. The human military ships are not acting under proper authority, Hyojin explained quickly. They are part of a group trying to start a war. The station's human command staff is trying to stop them. There was a long pause. Then the Velkari voice returned. We understand. We have suspected something like this for some time. Our intelligence networks detected unusual human military movements near several alien worlds. Junwoo looked up from his computer. Commander, I have more bad news. Captain Shin's fleet isn't just here to capture the station. They have orders to destroy it completely and blame the aliens for the explosion. Destroy the station? Daiho repeated. With everyone on it? The Terra Purists want to create a big incident, Yoon said, still held by Colven. Something that will make all of humanity hate aliens forever. The destruction of Harmony Station, with the death of hundreds of humans blamed on alien treachery, that would do it. Daiho felt sick. You're talking about murdering your own people. I'm talking about saving our species, Yoon replied coldly. Suddenly, explosions shook the station. The lights flickered, and everyone grabbed onto something for support. What was that? So-min asked. Junwoo checked his instruments. Captain Shin's ships are firing on the station's outer sections. They're making it look like an alien attack. More explosions followed. Through the windows, they could see flashes of light, as weapons fired in the darkness of space. "We're running out of time," Daeho said. "If we don't act soon, everyone on this station will die." Colvin spoke up. "Commander Kim, my people have ships nearby. So do the Velkari and the Roth. If you can prove to them that this is a Terra Purist attack and not an official human action, they will help defend the station." "But how can we prove it?" He-Jin asked. Ambassador Yoon laughed bitterly. "You can't. By the time this is over, the evidence will show that aliens destroyed Harmony Station. Earth will declare war on all alien species, and humanity will finally be safe from your corrupting influence." Commander Kim Daeho made a decision that would change everything. He turned to Ambassador Colvin and said, "Tell your alien ships the truth. Tell them that humans loyal to peace are fighting against humans who want war." "That is a dangerous choice," Colvin warned. "If we help you fight other humans, the Terra Purists will use it as proof that aliens are humanity's enemies. And if we don't fight back, everyone on this station dies," Daeho replied, "including innocent aliens who trusted us to protect them." Another explosion shook the station. Lieutenant Choi Hye-jin was monitoring the damage reports. "Hull breaches on levels 5, 7, and 12. Emergency systems are holding, but not for long. Engineer." Lee Jun-woo was working frantically at his computer. "I'm trying to restore our defensive systems, but someone has locked me out of the main controls." "That would be Captain Shin," Ambassador Yoon said with satisfaction, still held by Colvin. "She has override codes for all your systems. You can't fight back." Dr. Park So-min was watching the security cameras. "Commander, look at this." She pointed to a screen showing the medical bay. "Some of the injured soldiers are being treated by Velkari healers. On the screen, they could see crystal beings using their harmonic abilities to help wounded humans. The Velkari were glowing with soft, healing light as they worked. The aliens are helping our people," So-min continued. "Even after everything that's happened, they're still trying to save human lives." Daeho felt something stir in his chest. "Colvin, send a message to your ships. Tell them that humans and aliens need to work together to stop this attack." The Namari ambassador activated a communication device built into his suit. He spoke in his own language, making sounds like flowing water. After a moment, responses came back in different alien languages. "The Velkari ship Song of Crystal says they will help," Colvin translated. "The Roth fleet is moving into position. My own people are ready to act." "What about weapons?" Hye-jin asked. "These are civilian ships, not warships." "You forget that. We have been watching human military movements for weeks," Colvin replied. "We came prepared for the possibility of fighting." Through the windows, they could see new ships appearing in the distance. Some looked like living crystals that sang as they moved. Others were dark and angular like insect shells. Still others flowed through space like water given form. Captain Shin's voice crackled over the communication system. "Unknown alien vessels, you are interfering with a legitimate Earth military operation. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed." Colvin responded in perfect English. "Captain Shin, you are attacking a neutral station and innocent civilians. We will defend them." "Then you've just declared war on humanity," Shin replied coldly. "No," Daeho said, taking the communicator. "Captain Shin, this is Commander Kim Daeho. You are not representing humanity. You are representing a terrorist group that wants to commit genocide." "Commander Kim, you have been compromised by alien influence," Shin responded. "Stand down and prepare for evacuation." "I will not stand down while you murder innocent people," Daeho said firmly. The space around Harmony Station became a battlefield. Captain Shin's human ships opened fire on the approaching alien vessels. But the aliens were ready. Velkari ships sang with crystal voices that confused the human targeting systems. Roth vessels moved in perfect coordination like a swarm. Namari ships flowed around enemy fire like water around rocks. Inside the station, Engineer Jun-woo suddenly smiled. "Commander, I found a way into the defensive systems. But I need help from someone who understands Velkari technology. A new voice spoke up. I can help with that. They turned to see a tall crystal being entering the command center. Its body was translucent and sparkled with inner light. I am Harmony Singer Telmore of the Velkari, the being said in musical tones. I have been studying your computer systems as part of our cultural exchange program. Ambassador Yoon struggled against Colvin's grip. See? They admit they've been spying on us. Learning and spying are different things, Telmore replied calmly. Humans study our crystal technology. We study your computer systems. This is how different species share knowledge. Junwoo gestured to his computer station. Can you help me bypass the lockout codes? Telmore approached the station and placed one crystal hand on the computer interface. Immediately, the crystal began to resonate with harmonic frequencies. The computer screens flickered, and new data appeared. Velkari crystal technology can interface directly with electronic systems, Telmore explained. We are not just helping you fight, we are showing you new possibilities for cooperation. Amazing, Junwoo breathed as the defensive systems came online. I've got weapons control back. Lieutenant Hye-jin was coordinating with the security teams throughout the station. Commander, our people are working with alien civilians to evacuate damaged sections. Humans and aliens are helping each other. On the security screens, they could see exactly what she meant. In one corridor, Roth workers were using their strong mandibles to cut through twisted metal, freeing trapped humans. In another area, human engineers were helping Namari civilians reach water-filled emergency shelters. This is what the Terra purists fear most, Dr. Somin said quietly. Not alien attacks or alien technology. They fear that we might actually become friends. The battle outside was intensifying. More alien ships had arrived, but so had additional human military vessels. Captain Shin had called for reinforcements. Captain Shin's fleet is getting stronger. Hye-jin reported. We need to end this quickly. Daeho made another difficult decision. Junwoo, can you broadcast a message to all the human ships? Yes, but Captain Shin might cut it off. Then we need to make sure everyone hears it before she can stop it. Daeho turned to Telmore. Can Velkari harmonic technology help amplify our signal? If we work together, yes, Telmore replied. But the message must be true and strong. Velkari harmonics amplify emotion as well as sound. Daeho nodded. He knew what he had to say. This is Commander Kim Daeho of Harmony Station, he began, speaking into the communicator while Telmore's crystal form resonated with harmonic frequencies. I'm sending this message to every human ship in this area. You are being lied to. His voice, amplified by Velkari technology, reached every ship in the fleet. The harmonic frequencies carried not just his words, but his emotions, his sincerity, his determination, and his pain at seeing humans and aliens fighting. The Terra purists have convinced you that aliens are your enemies, Daeho continued. But look around you. Look at what's really happening. Alien ships are defending a human station. Alien civilians are saving human lives. This is not the behavior of enemies. On several of the human ships, crew members were beginning to question their orders. The harmonic amplification made Daeho's words impossible to ignore or dismiss. Captain, Shin and Ambassador Yoon want you to destroy this station and everyone on it, Daeho said. They want to blame the aliens for the deaths of hundreds of innocent humans. They want to start a war that will kill millions on both sides. More human ships began to slow their attacks. Some were even turning away from the battle. Choose what kind of humanity you want to represent, Daeho concluded. The kind that builds bridges or the kind that burns them down. Captain Shin's voice cut through the communication system. Don't listen to him. He's been compromised by alien mind control. Continue the attack. But many of her ships were no longer following orders. Some human vessels were actually moving to protect the alien ships they had been attacking moments before. It's working, Hye-jin said with amazement. The fleet is splitting apart. Some ships are joining us. Ambassador Yoon was furious. You fools! You're destroying humanity's future. When the aliens show their true nature, remember this moment. Their true nature is what we've been seeing all along, Dr. Somin replied. cooperation, healing, protection of the innocent, the same values that humans claim to have. But the battle wasn't over yet. Captain Shin still had several ships under her command, and she was preparing for a final desperate attack. All remaining loyal vessels, Shin's voice echoed through space, prepare for maximum firepower assault on Harmony Station. We will complete our mission even if we have to destroy every alien ship in this sector. The most dangerous part of the fight was about to begin, but now humans and aliens would face it together. Tell more, Colvin, Daeho said. Are your people ready for what comes next? We have been ready since we first chose to trust humanity, Colvin replied. The question is, are you ready to show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of? Daeho looked around the command center at humans and aliens working side by side, risking their lives for each other. Yes, he said firmly. We're ready. The final battle for the soul of human-alien relations was about to begin. The final battle began with Captain Shin's remaining ships charging toward Harmony Station. Her voice echoed across all communication channels. For the purity of humanity, destroy the alien contamination. But something unexpected happened. As her ships moved forward, they found themselves surrounded not just by alien vessels but by other human ships. Vessels from her own fleet that had chosen to protect the station instead of attacking it. Commander Kim Daeho watched from the command center as the space battle unfolded. Lieutenant Choi, what's the status of our defenses? Holding steady, Hee-jin replied. The alien ships are creating a protective barrier around us, and about half of the human fleet has joined them. Engineer Lee Jun-woo was coordinating with both human and alien technical teams. The Valkyrie are using their harmonic fields to disrupt Captain Shin's targeting systems. The Roth ships are moving in perfect formation to intercept incoming missiles. And the Namari vessels are using some kind of liquid metal technology to absorb energy blasts. Dr. Park So-min was monitoring the medical situation throughout the station. We have casualties, but the Valkyrie healers are working alongside our human medical teams. They're saving lives together. Ambassador Yoon, still held by Colvin, was watching the battle with growing desperation. This can't be happening. The plan was perfect. Humans and aliens can't work together like this. But they are working together, Daeho said simply. Because that's what good people do when faced with evil. On the main screen they could see Captain Shin's flagship approaching the station. Her remaining loyal ships were firing everything they had, but the combined human-alien defense was holding. Suddenly, Captain Shin's voice came over a direct communication line to the station. Commander Kim, I'm giving you one last chance. Surrender now and I'll make your death quick. Captain Shin, Daeho replied, I'm giving you one last chance. Look at what's happening around you. Your own people are fighting against you. Doesn't that tell you something? It tells me that alien influence is stronger than I thought, Shin responded angrily. But then something unexpected happened. Other voices began joining the communication channel. They were human voices, crew members, from Shin's own ships. Captain, this is Lieutenant Park from the cruiser Determination. My crew is refusing to fire on the station. These aliens are protecting innocent people. Captain, this is Commander Lee from the destroyer Swift Strike. We've been monitoring the battle, and the aliens are only using defensive weapons. They're not trying to destroy us. More voices joined in. Human officers and crew members from throughout the fleet were speaking up, questioning their orders, refusing to attack civilians. Captain Shin's voice became increasingly desperate. You're all traitors. You've been corrupted by alien mind control. No, Captain, came another voice. We've been thinking for ourselves. In the command center, Telmore the Valkyrie was still connected to the computer systems. Commander Kim, I am detecting something strange. Captain Shin's ship is preparing to overload its main reactor. What does that mean? So-min asked. It means she's going to turn her ship into a bomb, Junwoo said grimly. If she can't complete her mission by destroying us with weapons, she'll ram the station and take everyone with her. Daeho felt his heart sink. Can we stop her? Not with weapons, Telmore said. Her ship is too heavily armored, but there might be another way. What kind of way? Hye-jin asked. The harmonic fields that Velkari ships generate can resonate with atomic structures, Telmore explained. If we combine our harmonic technology with human engineering and Namari liquid metal systems, we might be able to safely disperse the reactor overload. That sounds incredibly dangerous, Junwoo said. More dangerous than letting her destroy the station? Daiho asked. Ambassador Colvin spoke up. Commander, there is something else you should know. If we try this plan, the Velkari, Roth, and Namari ships will have to link their systems together. It will create a permanent technological bond between our species. Permanent how? Daiho asked. Our technologies will learn from each other, Colvin explained. We will share knowledge that cannot be unshared. Our peoples will be connected in ways that have never happened before. Ambassador Yoon laughed bitterly. See? They want to merge with humanity. They want to absorb us into their collective. No, Telmore said softly. We want to grow together, to become something new, something better than any of us could be alone. Daiho looked around the command center. He saw humans and aliens working, together, risking their lives for each other. He saw the security screen showing mixed teams of humans and aliens helping injured people throughout the station. He saw what the future could look like if fear didn't win. Do it, he said firmly. Link the systems, save the station. Commander, Hyejin warned. If this goes wrong, you'll be blamed for allowing alien technology to contaminate human systems. If this goes right, Daiho replied, maybe we'll show the galaxy what real cooperation looks like. Telmore began, singing in harmonic frequencies, communicating with the Velkari ships. Colvin spoke in flowing water sounds to the Namari vessels. Throughout the station, Roth technical teams began coordinating their efforts with human engineers. On the main screen, they could see something beautiful and terrible happening. Streams of energy began flowing between the alien ships, creating a web of light around Harmony Station. The web pulsed with different colors, crystal blue from the Velkari, deep amber from the Roth, flowing silver from the Namari. Captain Shin's ship was racing toward the station, its reactor building to critical overload. But as it entered the energy web, something amazing happened. The harmonic fields began to resonate with the ship's atomic structure, safely dispersing the dangerous energy. But the process was affecting more than just the reactor. The energy fields were surrounding Captain Shin's ship, and the crew inside was experiencing something unprecedented. They could feel the thoughts and emotions of the aliens who were saving their lives. Through the shared harmonic field, the human crew members experienced Velkari music that expressed pure joy at helping others. They felt Roth collective consciousness, focused entirely on protecting life. They sensed Namari emotions flowing like gentle currents, full of hope for the future. Captain Shin's voice came over the communication system one last time, but now it was different. Instead of anger and hatred, there was confusion and wonder. I can feel them, she said softly. They're not trying to hurt us. They're trying to save us. The reactor overload was safely dispersed, but the energy web around the station continued to pulse with light. Human and alien technologies were learning from each other, creating new possibilities that none of them had imagined. What happens now? Dr. Soman asked, watching the beautiful display of lights. Now we build something new, Daiho said. Not human technology or alien technology, but cooperative technology. Not human culture or alien culture, but shared culture. Ambassador Yoon was staring at the screen in defeat. You've doomed humanity. We'll lose our identity. We'll become something else. Yes, Daiho agreed. We'll become something better. Over the following hours, more ships arrived. Not military vessels, but civilian ships from dozens of different worlds. News of the battle at Harmony Station had spread throughout the galaxy. People wanted to see what had happened when humans and aliens chose cooperation over conflict. The station became a symbol of what was possible. Human engineers worked with Velkari crystal singers to create new technologies. Roth collective intelligence helped solve problems that had puzzled human scientists for years. Namari liquid metal systems opened up possibilities for exploration and construction that no one had dreamed of. But the most important change was simpler than technology. It was the way different species looked at each other. The energy web had allowed them to experience each other's thoughts and feelings directly. Fear and suspicion were replaced by understanding and friendship. Captain Shin and her crew were taken into custody, but not as criminals. The shared harmonic experience had changed them. They had felt the genuine care and concern that the aliens had for all life, including human life. They asked to be allowed to help rebuild what they had tried to destroy. Ambassador Yun was returned to Earth to face trial for his crimes, but even he had been affected by witnessing the cooperation between species. His last words before leaving the station were, "Maybe I was wrong. Maybe humanity's future isn't about staying pure. Maybe it's about becoming more than we ever thought possible." Commander Kim Dae-ho stood in his office months later, looking out at the rebuilt Harmony Station. It was larger now, and more beautiful. Human architecture blended with alien designs in ways that created something entirely new. Dr. Park So-min entered his office carrying a data pad. "Commander, I have the final report on our joint medical programs. Human and alien healing techniques. Combined are proving more effective than either approach alone." Engineer Lee Jun-woo joined them. "And our joint engineering teams have designed a new type of space station that can adapt to the needs of any species. We're getting requests from all over the galaxy.